All right, so we're doing The Great Divorce. Mine looks very old. We're doing The Great Divorce. Here it is. And we did this, I don't know, what, 4 years ago now? Three? It's this is one of my favorite books. I really enjoy this book, and it's wild reading it again now, and how I see different things in it. Oh, there's a line. I see different things in it than I did, 3 years ago. Like, and that's even though I'm only like up through chapter 2. I'm like, oh, look at that, and I think it hits you at where you are. So Paul, have you ever read anything from C.S. Lewis before? Are you familiar with him?
There was a movie that came out a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. The Narnia stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's like that. So you never read Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe or anything like that? Okay, so C.S. Lewis.
Very strange.
I think
You're having a good time?
Yeah.
Paul has a deficit here.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So hi Lang, good to see you. And so Lion Witch. So C.S. Lewis is a contemporary and friend with hi Pam. Come on in. A contemporary and friend of J.R. Tolkien.
Oh, I love Tolkien.
Yeah. So like
It was three of those guys. It was Tolkien, Lewis, and another literary giant.
the N.T. Wright. No.
That's that.
Yeah, no. Okay. But yeah, he was a contemporary with that. I mean, it's all everything's being written in the warfare time frame of 30s, 40s, all that stuff. So everything has a big tinge of that. And so,
If I can further edify, C.S. Lewis, Tolkien, and again, I can't think of the third one. These are all dons or professors at Oxford.
Yeah.
And they're hanging out together and they're swapping. And I think it's Tolkien that leads C.S. Lewis back to Christ.
yeah.
The famous walk in the woods. God, I don't want to step on.
No, you're doing better than I had no bio written. Introduce C.S. Lewis.
C.S. Lewis is as I said, an Oxford scholar, a unrepentant atheist, has no interest at all in Christianity, and takes a fateful train ride and finds a book by a guy named MacDonald.
Okay, yeah, and he mentions that.
And this is life changing for him because MacDonald makes an argument for Christ, for the existence of Christ, and he relates this back to his social group of Tolkien and the other person, and they're enjoying this very much because they are Christian, and they've been pushing this guy C.S. Lewis, come on. And now they're seeing that Lewis is finding his own way in some respects. And again, he is a confirmed bachelor as well.
Yeah.
And relatively late in his life, sooner than me, he recognizes the truth, as it were. I think that's enough for me.
Are you thinking of Bonhoeffer?
No.
Bonhoeffer was German.
Yeah, German, different country.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was about that time. And
Contemporary.
And didn't he start out in Cambridge, in England?
Yes, he had a.
I think he started
He had
there.
an academic pilgrimage,
Yeah,
but he wasn't going to,
yeah,
University of Florida. He was.
yeah. No,
What are you saying about the
No, wait a
Oh, with all due respect,
Yeah, like
all you gator heads, or whatever you're called.
It's just a gator. It's just a gator. It's just like this. I have no allegiance to any of that.
So he would have been like Penn State instead.
Yeah.
He would argue otherwise.
So Pam, are you pretty familiar with C.S. Lewis? Have you read much of his stuff?
Just a few things.
Just a few things?
Not the majority, by far.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe 3
Because
or 4 books, that's all.
we did this about 3 years ago, we're guessing.
Yeah, right around that.
And so it was just when I was like, man, like I don't know, it's like a good cathartic read for me every now and then. I have the privilege of being able to force you guys to read stuff too. And so, but it's a good, I don't know, like C.S. Lewis stuff is kind of fascinating. A lot of stuff he's like figuring it out as he goes, type of thing too. And this is my favorite C.S. Lewis book. My second favorite is Magician's Nephew, which is the last thing he wrote of The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, the Narnia series. That one, Coley and I reread that one a couple Christmases ago, and I was like, oh man, if people read this, they'll see that all my theological views I have stolen
What a fraud.
from C.S. Lewis. Like that's
Not an original word.
Yeah. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't even stop telling people about this book. And so how far did you make it, Paul? How far did you make it?
4 chapters.
Okay, so you made it 4 chapters in. All right, that's good. How about you, Pam?
Just a couple chapters.
Yeah, I made it through chapter 2. So that's.
That's what I did.
I doubt we'll get past that today.
I was still trying to make sense of it. I kept
Yeah.
reading. I was like, I still don't get that.
Yeah, this is a book that it's a fiction story, and he makes that clear right up in the preface. So the preface isn't part of the story. It's kind of him explaining the story a little bit there, but you kind of get a sense of what he's doing. And this book is one of those that when you reread it, all the times he's playing coy at the beginning, you're like, oh, okay, because you kind of don't really understand what's going on in that. So in the preface, Ed was talking to me about the preface a little bit. I told him, be quiet. Save it for the class. Like that's
Other than nothing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what were you talking to me about? Like you were mentioning some of the preface stuff earlier. Do you remember?
You're asking an 86-year-old.
I know. Well, you were reading your questions.
Yeah,
You were reading your
that was
questions.
out of there.
Like that's oh no.
Lost and gone forever.
Yeah,
Brett
lost and
Lazar.
gone forever.
Fun
So
time.
like that's I don't know. Was there? So Ed also bought this study guide and over there, and so he was just kind of showing me some of the stuff in it. There's a couple of nice things about the study guide. It has like little descriptions of all the people that we meet.
Oh, I need to
And
do
so
that.
like that's something we can make a copy if you want.
Yeah, that would be a lot easier than spending $14.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, it's mine sitting at home.
Yeah. The study guide.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah. And so like that's because you meet all these cast of characters like on this bus ride.
It's like all people from all walks of life when you go through.
Yeah.
What their
And
characters
so
are.
my favorite thing about this book for me personally is the way this book holds a mirror up to yourself. And it's like just I don't know, at least this is how for me, when it like shows me like, oh, I'm kinda like that. And it kind of invites you to push that aside, to get rid of it. And near the end of the book, it's they kill the demon, right? Like, yeah, that's it. So like that's and so it's kind of fascinating. So I've been stalling enough here, like that. Is there anything in the preface?
Well, it's what I thought was it struck me was Blake wrote the Marriage of Heaven and Hell,
Yeah.
Well, this is the divorce.
Right, yeah, I know, some of
Heaven and hell, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, the question number 2 in this study guide was, what attempts do you see today, in today's culture, of trying to marry heaven and hell? And how do you think this dysfunctional marriage has changed culture today?
Yeah.
Marriage of heaven and hell. How has the dysfunctional culture of the marriage of heaven and hell changed our outlook today?
Yeah. Anyone want to operate on that as we kind of go through the preface here?
Is this an echo of, we often use your scriptures to
Yeah.
promote our own opinions.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We use your scriptures to promote our, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
We do that a lot, but my favorite word for it is, we baptize things. We will baptize something that is inherently unchristian, and we'll say, this is Christian now. Like that's, it's, we do that. We do that a lot. We do that a lot with things and ideas, and that's not helpful. It's not helpful.
What about him having to even maybe pluck out his right eye?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a good.
That was really
Yeah.
kind of,
That's one of
woke
the,
me up a little bit.
Yeah.
one of the questions in the
What you
study.
have to do to be ready.
Well, again, it's biblical. I mean, we
Yes,
cut
it is.
off your hand, poke out your eye.
Yeah,
It's derivative. I say that the kind way.
yeah.
It's so that's. I'm not going to have the same page numbers as you guys are, but that quote is found in the paragraph
That
about
was in the
halfway through the preface.
Yeah,
The paragraph begins with,
be 9 in ours.
"Yeah, I do not think that all who choose wrong roads perish."
Mhm.
Do you see that? And about halfway through the paragraph, or just, I don't know, a couple sentences in, it starts saying, evil can be undone, but it cannot develop into good. Time does not heal it. The spell must be unwound bit by bit with backward mutters of disserving power, or else not, it's still either or.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to keep on reading that for a second. But that idea of unwinding evil is what this book is about. And it's, I don't want to get in and like just ruin the whole book. Well, I'm going to get this.
You just can't help yourself.
I know. The bus ride is going from hell to hell. All right. And it takes them to the outskirts of heaven. And they have the choice to walk towards the mountains or to get back on the bus. And especially at the beginning, it hurts to walk towards the mountains. And so I think because everything's so real and solid. And so this quote continues on with that idea that if we insist on keeping hell or even earth, we shall not see heaven. If we accept heaven, we shall not be able to retain even the smallest, most intimate survivors of hell. I believe, to be sure, that any man who reaches heaven will find that what he abandoned, even in plucking out his right eye, has not been lost. That the kernel of what has been really seeking, even in his most depraved wishes, will be there beyond expectation, waiting for him in the high countries. Like that's the book right there. That you feel like you're getting rid of something that is you. That you're plucking your eye out, and you'll find that you actually haven't lost it. And that's what this is about. So for you new timers to the Great Divorce, it's all the people that we meet are a certain sin, like a certain depravity type about them. And so that's going on. So we'll read about one of them right now. Let's see here. Where's one that we meet in the first and second?
Big guy.
Yeah, they got the big ghost. So I have not read this yet. So we'll see. It may be trash. So
It may be.
but this is the big ghost. The man is astonished and outraged to find Lynn, the guiding spirit he encounters, enjoying life in heaven. And see, it's not describing what his issue is.
The short man.
Yeah, it tells their story. Like the big ghost, he can't acknowledge his faults, right? Like and he can't imagine that someone would be forgiven and be able to go to heaven. And so like that, but he would rather be correct and live in the gray city and hell than show any forgiveness and go to the mountains. So that's the big man we meet at the very beginning. All right. So anything else in this preface? Again, near the beginning of the preface, it says, "You cannot take all your luggage with you on all journeys. One journey, even your right hand or your right eye may be among the things that you have to leave behind." And that's such a great way to look at this book. One thing I enjoyed about the preface is we get to see a time frame in which our terms were not developed yet. And he says he's making apologies because he's stealing an idea from it sounds like a writer of a serial.
Right.
And he says, I read several years ago in a highly colored American magazine what they call science fiction. What's it called?
Scientific fiction.
Yeah.
Science fiction, yeah.
It's science fiction now.
Right, that's what we call it.
Science fiction.
Yeah, science fiction.
Science fiction.
Yeah. So it's science fiction now. But there was this term that they were everyone's trying to figure out what this stuff is. And it's kind of fun to see how, this isn't even 100 years old yet. And you can see the beginning of a term. Yeah, scientific fiction. It's
Scientific.
Yeah.
One of those.
It's all
Yeah.
one word.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
The one analogy I like was the roads.
The roads.
Rather than a world where every road, after a few miles, forks into two.
Right.
And each of those into two again. And at each fork, you must make a decision.
Yeah.
When you come to the fork in the road, take it.
Pick it up.
Thank you, Yogi.
Yeah. And so I like how he does this. He's like, the second thing is this. I beg readers to remember this is a fantasy. It has of course, or I intend it to have a moral. But it is a fantasy. But man, this thing just ignites my brain as we go through it here. So let's move on to chapter 1. Chapter 1. Where are we? What do you think?
Initially,
Initially, yeah.
we're in hell.
You're in hell. You're in hell.
The gray city.
The gray city.
Also, if you were Nelson Sanchez, purgatory.
Is this how he's defining purgatory?
That's how C.S. Lewis defines purgatory.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, some people call it purgatory, some people call it the gateway to hell.
Okay. So and C.S. Lewis has
not
this.
hell yet. You're right there, but not quite.
So he's he has this idea of you're walking farther and farther type of thing.
Yeah.
I really like looking at this. It's hell.
Yeah.
And how does everything look?
Dismal, right?
Yeah, Disney.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, we're waiting for the rain.
Yeah. It's just dismal, and there's some. Yeah, go ahead.
How it doesn't look is fiery and hot.
No.
Yeah.
Brimstone.
Rainy.
Yeah.
All of the things that
Yeah.
we have for moisturize, the jowl shaking, fire.
Yeah.
This is kind of bleak
Yeah,
and desolate.
it's bleak and sad.
And the houses are not rainproof.
Yeah. Like, there's nothing.
I know that contractor.
Yeah. I like, like you mentioned.
You've had him in court.
Yeah. Like that's, did you guys catch that, like, the houses don't really stop the rain?
They don't stop
Well,
anything,
They don't stop anything.
because they're just imaginary.
Yeah,
I'll imagine it.
like nothing's, and this is one of my favorite images that's going in here. Nothing is really real.
Yeah.
You know, like it's all kind of just fake. But at the same time, it's everyone gets what they want. That's the thing that strikes me every time I read this, is that everyone gets what they want. And
All they have to do is imagine it,
Like-
and it's there.
yeah, because they all start together at the train station. That's how they described it. They all start together at the train station, and they get in little arguments, and they just move farther and farther and farther away because they get whatever they want.
Busted.
And so, like, they get in a little argument, boom, like I don't
I'm
have
out
to
of
be-
here.
I don't have to be near you anymore. And so they just built endless ghettos, like that's as far as the eye can see. I like the one story when they're talking about Napoleon,
Oh, yeah.
and one guy
He's
he lives on a little
light years
rise,
away.
and he has a telescope,
Yeah.
and he can see Napoleon like through the telescope. And he's just like, and like
That's pretty good.
that's kind of funny. I also think it's funny at the very beginning when he's describing everything that's going on. This is like in the middle of the first paragraph. He goes, "However far I went, I found only dingy lodging houses, small tobacco hoardings from which posters hung in rags, windowless warehouses, goods stations without trains, in bookshops, all sorts that sell the works of Aristotle." Like, that's a funny. That's the. I don't know. Yeah. It sounds like an abstract. This whole thing sounds like abstract and not real. And so Plato would be proud, right? And so, and so I never met anyone, and all of a sudden he's like, I never saw anybody. And but the little crowd at the bus stop, and is all there. I don't know. So like it's interesting. He's like, I never saw anybody. There's stuff in all these windows and all that. He never sees anyone, but all of a sudden he's there at this bus stop, which is interesting. Which is interesting. The I don't know what do you think of that bus stop? How are people treating each other at the bus stop? Not well. Like that's in what way is it not well?
Well, they were finding fault with everybody.
Yeah.
We don't like that when somebody tells us something that's against us.
Yeah.
It's hard to swallow.
Yeah. Like it's always my.
Why was he so relieved when somebody got kicked off the line and he got to move ahead?
Yeah.
What's the object of that part?
I think that just everyone's so selfish,
Yeah, they all wanted to get, but then by the time we got on the bus, it was only half full.
Yeah.
Because so many were kicked off.
Yeah. Like that's actually a good observation too.
Again, they don't wish to gauge heaven, but they want to be first in line.
Yeah.
They want to be first in line
Exactly.
to disengage from heaven.
Right.
Yeah.
To reject
It's like the
heaven.
drivers today, they gotta get one car ahead of you because they're gonna.
Yeah.
Let's take it personal.
Yeah. Do you need any other building, Capam? Yeah, it already happened. Already happened.
You're good.
Like that's.
Come on down.
Do you want keys? You want keys? What for? Are you gonna put them in the shed?
Wherever you tell me.
Oh, it's for Misha?
Yes, it's Meshack, it's diapers, wipes, clothes,
You know where
it's a
his-
lot of stuff.
Red is shed.
Red is shed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Orange is office, green is Grace.
Got it. So just in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right,
Thank
cool.
you.
Thanks,
Bye,
ma'am.
everybody.
Like, so yeah, everyone's just kind of nasty. Like, what is your sense of, do they know where they're going or why they're getting on the bus?
I don't think they do.
You don't think they do?
I think they're just following the crowd. The crowd wants to be on the bus.
Okay.
So if Paul wants to get on the bus, I
Yeah.
want to get on the bus too.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
But then when I come up with Mick and Mick says, "Oh, this is going to be a good trip on the bus," I said, "I don't like you. I'm getting out of line."
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so that they're like, it's,
That's my opinion.
yeah.
I could be wrong.
But you're not. Like, but it's, yeah, so so it's like a crowd, but as we meet people, they kind of seem to know what's going on, or are they just making light like they know what's going on? Like, I don't know. So they're waiting for the bus here, and then the bus comes. And they're describing what the bus looked like. And because remember, this is a gray town, and nothing good is going from it and all that stuff. And then they describe it, it's a wonderful vehicle, blazing with golden light. Like that's, the driver himself could be seen full of light. And he used only one hand to drive with, the other he waved before his face as if to fan away the greasy steam of the rain. Like that's, and then how did the people?
They didn't like that.
Yeah.
Growling up.
He was too good natured. They couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's it. I do think there's part of it, like it's. I think it's a muscle too. Is where do you look for the good in the situation or the bad type of thing, right?
Well, that is why they're condemned, because they're incapable of looking for the good. They reject it. They run from it. They criticize it, and that's why they're so reliably miserable
Yeah.
and alone.
Yeah. Like that's, and that's kind of what we see, that if they looked at things different, they might be walking towards the mountains. Like that's as we get there, and they're just kind of condemned to that.
Yeah, they want the bus driver to be like them. They want him to
Miserable.
act naturally.
Oh yeah. My dear, why can't he
Yeah.
behave naturally?
Yeah, like the rest of them, huh?
Like he thinks himself too good to look at.
Yeah.
Like that's the question is can he even see them? The bus driver, like that's hinting at stuff coming up.
Yeah.
But that's that's I like that, like behave naturally. So that there's a common theme that people often will do, and this behave naturally thing is a sense to it. Like people will often, like I hear them talk about, well, we just need to have common sense, things like that. Common sense is only common in the pockets that you exist in. Like that's like depending on who you are, what you grow up as, the people you surround yourselves with, common sense will change, right? And so like I've never enjoyed the argument of like disuse common sense, because it seems whoever's loudest, most powerful defines what common sense is. And our common sense as Christians is a baby born in a manger. So like but I think that's why, my dear, why can't he behave naturally? Why doesn't he have just common sense? Well, common sense in hell is his thing. All right, what else stood out to you here? So just underneath that, the paragraph that begins with, "I thought you wouldn't mind my tacking on to you." He said, "For I've noticed that you feel just as I do about the present company. Why on earth they insist on coming, I can't imagine. They won't like it at all when we get there. And they'd really be just more comfortable at home. It's different for you and me." Do you remember the conversation with that guy?
Yeah, the toss up
That's
carrot
right.
youth, they called them.
Yeah, is that, what was,
It's,
What was that called?
in our book, it's page 4.
yeah,
So there's your.
the tousled-haired poet, yeah.
Yeah. He wanted them to read his works.
Yeah. So what's interesting about it is how he goes up to him, it's like, you hate all these people and, like, just like me, right? Like that's, like, this is all terrible, isn't it? Like, all these people would be so much better if they were just out, sitting on the couch. And notice he keeps on like going, like, you understand it. I know you do. And then when we go, no, I don't understand. Can you explain that to me? He's like, no. Like,
Because I don't understand.
Yeah. And then wants him to read his own works, and you're like, oh, like, I see that. As someone who talks for a living, that's way too comfortable for me. Like, that, I guess not comfortable, but sounds familiar. It's like, oh yeah, it's like, I have the answers here. I have the just listen to me, and like you'll be all right. Like that. That's
Who's Cyril Blello?
what
The
page?
name is really weird.
4 or 5.
5? Oh, do you know who that is, Matt?
That was his buddy that he tried to get to go down the bus with him.
Even
That's
before
on
we came
page
here,
5 on
I had
our
thought some doubts
half the
about a
page.
man like Cyril Bello. Let's look it up.
But it seems like he went and tried to get other people to go. Why did he, if they didn't know where they were going, why would he do that? We're talking about the tassel pair.
It begs the question. No one is rational.
Yeah.
You'll constantly be asking why they're doing this stuff, because they have no substance. There's nothing to them. They're ghosts.
Yeah.
So don't expect them to behave in a reasonable way. I want to be first in line to not get on the bus.
Yeah. And what I love about that is, my gosh, you can just see humanity all in it.
What struck me about that name is it sounds kind of like Cyril Bello. Was he a very brainy person?
Oh, maybe.
Cyril Bello?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like it's a fictional character.
Yeah.
Let's see, I
He
found,
was at least intelligent.
yeah, he was. I found a few fellows I'd known before and tried to form a little circle. They all seemed to have sunk to the level of the surroundings. Even before we came here, I'd had some doubts about a man like Cyril Bello. And I always thought he was working in a false idiom, be at least intelligent. One could get some criticism work from hearing. Would you like to read my stuff, please? Like that's
Yeah.
like that. It's just depressing. It's just depressing.
Come on.
Yeah, come on. And then all of a sudden, like, what does our guy notice?
We've left the ground.
We've left the ground. And suddenly they're going up, and you can see the rain, the wet roofs of the town appear, spreading without a break as far as the eye could reach.
At that point, after I read that first chapter, I was like, what am I? Then I had to go back and reread the preface and what it was about. I had forgotten that it was.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'm getting on this bus, and now it's flying about.
Yeah.
It was like really. I had to go back.
Yeah.
Because it was like I had read that a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And then now I read.
Yeah,
You're like, what am I reading?
Yeah.
Like, it's a fiction book, but it's written about all these people that we meet. And so we have the tousled-headed poet now that he's sitting next to and talking. So we got chapter 2.
Before we go forward,
Yeah.
in terms of the metaphorical bus, they're living in hell, so they have no perspective. But they get on the bus and they look out the window and say, "Oh, I live there."
Yeah. They live there. And yeah, there's just no there's no goodness in it. There's no goodness in it at all. The let's see.
I wrestle though with their lack of awareness. They are unaware of their faith. If they are unaware of their faith, how will there be redemption? How are they going to know to make the right decisions? They're oblivious. They think that this is natural.
Yeah.
This is the nature of things.
But I think that's just the nature of where we find ourselves a lot of times.
I don't think they're getting on the bus to go to heaven. I think they're getting on the bus because everybody wants to get on the bus.
Yeah.
There's the group. Yeah.
So if everybody wants to get on the bus, I better get on the bus.
Yeah.
And then, well, I've had enough, and I'm getting off this line. I'm done with that.
Yeah. Well,
I don't want to go.
Yeah.
Because I don't like you.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think so. Like we're doing First, Second Kings, on Sunday right now, and it's the way there's some coyness to how that's written, and I think some of the readings that we did last week were like they build this. Before they built everything, Solomon is marrying the queen, the daughter of Pharaoh. He's marrying her, and it talks about how all the people are making sacrifices at the high places. Like that's it's. I was told that like Israel was still good then, and they're making sacrifices in the high places there, and it's like wait a second, and then what? Some of our stuff that we're using for this week is that Solomon. It says that Solomon did every he made 3 sacrifices a year in the temple, thus completing his duty, is how it's described. Like, so he's doing it just out of like, oh yeah, it's November. Like, yeah, I gotta check. I gotta check the box there, and that's what I see with all of this stuff too, is that they're just like like that, and like there's a lot of times people. I mean, think about people who are just stuck in like drug use. That's an easy one to point out, and you can look at them and you're like, you're destroying your life, and they go in, but like that's the easy one to point out. What are the things that we do in our own lives that are destroying us? Like that's like I don't know. That's kind of how it shows to me there. I don't know. Anyone want to talk about the bleak surroundings of chapter 1 anymore? All right, let's talk about
In real estate, they say location.
Yeah. and I like, because this leads on to the future, but I like how when they're looking at it, it's as far as the eye can see.
Yeah. And people keep moving away from each other.
Yeah.
Hell is growing.
Yeah, it seems like it's so big, and spoilers, it's not very big. Like, and that's in that.
Ruin everything.
I know, I ruin everything.
Chapter 14 already.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's also kind of Oh no, I ruined it. Like that. That's so. Notice what it does right at the beginning of chapter 2. It's like, and it immediately tells us who we're meeting, which is the tassel-headed poet, right? Like that. because another passenger interrupted our conversation, right? Like we meet him there. And so before that happened, I had learned a good deal about that poet. He appeared to be a slightly ill-used man. Like his parents had never appreciated him, and none of the 5 schools through which he had been educated seemed to have made any provisions for his talent or temperament such as his. I'm not looking at you. But that's it. It's like this is one that, like, this isn't my disposition, right? In this one, I have others that will get to me later on. But there's a lot of people that you probably met. Maybe some of you are like that. It's like, like none of this is good enough for me. And they just go around and go around and go around. And part of that is it's easy, man, it's easy when you have a good sob story to use it against people, you know, to use it to get what you want. It sounds like that's what he's trying to do, you know, because they have worked to make maximum unfairness and absurdity against him. Like that's, so it's just funny how it's describing him. Like had made him a communist, but in the war, Russia like came with the capitalistic governments, and like there's nothing. Like he's not standing on anything.
Goes from one thing to another.
Yeah. Like it's just like it's like just moving around. Like that's there's nothing that is ever good. And did you just notice how he described how he died?
He jumped under a tree.
Yeah. Like it was just like nothing's good, and I finally just had enough. Like, and it's so like whoa. Like all of a sudden you're just listening to the story, and that was the last straw. He had jumped under a train. And then notice what our guy, what does he, what happens to him? Like it says it's
The narrator?
the narrator, yeah. He says, I gave a start, but he took no notice. That's that. I'm just noticing that right here. So it says that he jumped under a train, and then he says, I gave a start. He had a real emotion concerning this guy. You know? Like it's not just empty there, which is, I didn't notice that when I was reading this earlier. Like that's he had a real emotion. Like all may not be lost. It's and so the guy just continues talking now. That he hopes that he'll find recognition and appreciation. And so he's still talking about his friend Ciro Bello. So this next part, right after he starts talking, it begins with a paragraph that says, it was just then that we were interrupted. And what happens there? Does anyone think that's odd? I can just read it here. It was just then that we were interrupted. One of the quarrels, which were perpetually simmering in the bus, had boiled over for a moment, and there was a stampede. Knives were drawn, pistols were fired, but it all seemed strangely innocuous. And when it was over, I found myself unharmed. That went a different seat with a new companion. Like that's. I thought that was interesting. That again, nothing is real.
Yeah.
Even their fights are meaningless.
Yeah.
It's this sparing, guns and knives, and it's nothing. It's all illusory.
It's all illusory. Yeah. It's all.
This is how I'm going to exercise my power with a gun or with a knife. You have nothing.
Yeah.
You're a ghost.
Like that's, and I love how he worded it there. And I found myself unharmed, because that probably means he was shot. You know, Like that's, and he's like,
Well, I think he's amazed that with all of that noise, it was nothing,
yeah,
absolutely nothing.
yeah. Like that's, and I think that's, there's this feeling of bluster that we often have around us too, that is fake outrage. Did you see from, you know? I'm not saying you're a fake outrage. I'm not saying that you have that, but but I think you see that, you know? And it's just like, this is all just kind of gross. And when the outrage is so much, like one of the things that I cannot stand about headlines, either from social media or news or something like that, is when they say, oh, this person destroyed this person. So like, someone could write a very accurate headline about like Chris intellectually destroys Mick in argument and stuff like that,
Work of fiction.
Yeah. And so like that's
A dream.
but you see those headlines are everywhere because they're called clickbait.
Right.
And it's all, and I made it a practice, I don't know, probably 15 years ago now, that I do not click those links. I do not click on that stuff. That's not real. And so like you have this here, it's like, oh, everyone is like, oh, ooh, the whole like the shaking of the jowls thing, like, ooh, and there they are, and it's like, and I find myself that I was unharmed, and so I think it's describing his plight and all of this stuff, and so he's now sitting with an intelligent-looking man with a rather bulbous nose and a boiler hat. I looked out of the windows, and we were now so high that all below had become featureless, but fields, rivers, or mountains I did not see, and I got the impression that the great town still filled the whole field of vision. Like it's just this great like image of like it's just this gross ghetto, like as far as the eyes can see still. Anyone?
Just so much negativity that they're staying in hell.
Yeah.
Even though they're supposedly on this trip,
Yeah.
but they're still in that cloud of negativity.
Yeah. Like there's in that thing of, and this term is going to get really important as we get off the bus here in a little bit, but they're just so unreal. Like they're not, there's no substance to them at all. And so seems to be a deuce of a town. I volunteered, and that's what I can't understand. And the parts that I saw were empty. Was there a much larger population? And this is what we talked about when we were talking about earlier, where the guy starts telling us like, no, they're all poor. And this is where I get the phrase, they all get what they want.
Yep.
Yeah.
They all get what they
Babylon.
want. It's Babylon. Yeah. Like they get what they want. And that right there, I think is, because that, when the first time I read this book, that is what challenged me the most, is because it seems like I was always, I don't know if I was necessarily told, but the sense of heaven was that you're going to get everything that you want. And this book challenges that.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that's hell. Because you don't have to. Heaven, when you listen to Jesus, when you listen to here, seems to be a place where there's going to be just rampant forgiveness. And that'll make it to where we can live together. A place of constant forgiveness.
Love.
Yeah, of love. And love is diminishing yourself so the other may be greater, right? Like love and forgiveness and all that stuff. And here you just get this blanket, get whatever you want. And that's a different vision of what I was given, you know, like that's when I was growing up. And, you know, so they're talking about these quarrelsome neighbors and all of that. You know, you've only got to think of a house and there it is. But it doesn't keep out the rain.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. It doesn't keep out the rain. So they got all this stuff, but
Right.
it's all bad stuff. So there's the beginning. There's a paragraph that starts off. And what about the early arrivals? I mean, there must be people who come from Earth to your town even longer ago. That's right, there are. They've been moving on and on, getting further apart. They're so far off by now that they could never think of coming to the bus stop at all. You know, astronomical distances. Like that's are so far, and that's kind of like what you were talking about earlier, is that they're so far away, they're so far lost now that they could have never even imagined coming to them.
The sadness of that is they are seemingly beyond redemption. They've gone too far. There is a too far in this film.
Yeah. There is a too far. Like that's and well, and let's talk about the too far. We got to define what too far means. Like there are people that are so far gone, but they can always walk back. They probably won't.
No, again,
You know?
my unasked question, which I'll ask is there really a too far as Christ is concerned? Can you ever be too far?
Yeah, that's well, and I think I like the way that this depicts stuff because it depicts things being so far gone, but it's always just distance. Does that make sense?
I'm not following you.
Like that, it's always just distance that, you know, yeah, they're so far away. I mean, it even says it here. It's like, it's the end of that paragraph I was just reading from, and I thought you'd meet interesting historical characters, but you don't. They're too far away.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like he wants to meet them there, but like if people wanted to turn and start going towards the light, you know, like towards this bus stop, they could begin that journey, but they don't want to. They don't want to.
Yeah, I think anyone can be reached.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have a person in this room who
Stop talking about yourself.
wasn't reached
Yeah.
and now is.
Mm-hmm.
And he sits at a piano on Sundays.
I'm waiting for a name.
I will not name names.
But like it's, I mean, we're talking about Nick here, but like but we're also talking about quite a few people that are in this church now. Like that they're
The Moxhams.
yeah, like Moxhams, you got the Tokus family, like that's like there's we can name more too, which is really cool. So like that's and you know, and I kind of wonder like with all this. Like, think about how the book begins. How did he end up at that bus station? He just kind of ended up
Oh, it's the
there.
only place where there's people.
Yeah,
And I think we're the people we gotta herd together.
yeah.
Have to be by somebody. I
Yeah.
don't think people are meant to be alone.
So the book begins.
That's the only place there was people.
He saw a line.
Or, you know,
I thought
a
it
line of
yeah.
people, a line
must
of
be
people.
something worthwhile getting on.
Well, in this, I like how the book begins. I seem to be standing in a busy queue by the side of a long main
Right,
street.
yeah.
Like all of a sudden he kind of finds himself, and like, are these other people? Were they farther
They'd
off?
already moved out. They were
Yeah.
further out.
Well, and are these people here, is there something that brought them to the bus stop where they kind of like, all of a sudden, is he having like some thoughts?
Yeah, the narrator suddenly becomes self-aware.
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. He's not, like, all of a sudden he has some substance, and are these other people, oh, you gotta go?
Yeah, I gotta get Jacob.
Oh, man.
So we gotta have a day of school.
Gloria, was it something I said?
I'll be back.
Yeah, thanks, Gloria.
Yeah.
And so we need to be done in the next couple of minutes, but we're not gonna be able to get through all of this chapter. But I like how it begins there, where all of a sudden he's at the bus stop, and he doesn't know how he really got there.
That's true.
And so like, to answer your question, it is like, because he doesn't provide any, like, it's a work of fiction. That's why it's just fun to think about. But and the people that are very far off, where all of a sudden they have some solid thoughts, are they able to find themselves right at the bus? You know, like that's where they're going. Yeah, these people are so far gone, but as soon as they have some solidness, they find themselves where they can find more solid. Yeah, I don't know.
But
I don't know.
he's accompanied by ghosts. So,
Yeah,
Everybody's quote, dead unquote.
yeah. Well, he's a ghost too, though.
okay, all right.
Because remember, like that's.
I mean, we know how the story ends, and we know how
We
the
do?
context.
Yeah. Not everyone in the room knows what the story is.
No comment.
Yeah. But and we're gonna go through 2 again next week.
But suffice it to say, Paul, the sheep does sing.
But it's I'll read the last paragraph of this chapter, and we'll do this chapter again. The last paragraph says, "I glanced around the bus through the windows, though the windows were closed and soon them up. The bus was full of light. It was a cruel light, and I shrank from the faces and the forms by which I was surrounded. They were all fixed faces, full not of possibilities but impossibilities. Some gaunt, some bloated, some glaring with idiotic ferocity, some drowned beyond recovery in dreams, but all, in one way or another, distorted and faded. One had a feeling that they might fall to pieces at any moment as the light grew much stronger. Then there was a mirror at the end of the bus wall, and I caught sight of my own."
Yeah.
And like, I love this book because he doesn't say what he saw,
Right.
but we know what he saw.
Yeah.
We know what he saw.
That I like that one.
Like that's like, so do you guys think he saw the same thing? Or does he see something more substantial? So I think he saw the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah.
Up until
I
the
think
mirror,
that's
he
when-
thought he was hard.
Yeah,
Wasn't a part.
No.
Yeah.
He's one of the troops.
yeah.
I think that's when he realized he was a ghost.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like when you go to a high school reunion, you say they all got old.
Try the mirror.
Yeah. And so like that's, and so you have like all this stuff, and yeah, I mean he looks. I love how that's put. Like then I caught suddenly I looked in the mirror, and I think that, and we're going to talk about all this stuff again. I think that is also what this book is doing, is it's holding up a mirror to ourselves. You know, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm not these people, and then like when you think about it, you're like,
Whoops.
how many times have I taken part in just pointless arguments? You know? Yeah. Like how many times have I just been vapid?
Are you being rhetorical now, or are you being?
Like I'm helping you go down the path.
You're being pedagogical.
Yeah. And so it's, but yeah, I think it's good. So it's so we haven't gone through very much of this yet. I know you were like, oh my goodness, this is weird when you're first reading it. Is this kind of helping out a little bit as we're going through it? Is this book, and then how about you, Pam? Because this is your first time through this too, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So like that's like that. So what are you thinking like on it so far?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah.
Like you say, if you take your time and really try to dig in and get the insight.
Yeah. And so when we and the whole point of this is having discussions. So like come back and like, oh, I thought this was interesting and like that's and I kind of got this out of it because it's it's a work of fiction, but it's kind of talking about bigger, more substantial things. And so, but yeah, I love this book. So I'm going to prepare probably through chapter 5. We'll see how much we get. See how much we get through. And so, but good deal. And for everyone that's watching us pre-recorded on YouTube, thanks for joining us today.